Hello guys and welcome back to another video. Now, today I'm going to do something slightly different. There'll actually be no gameplay here. It'll mainly be me just talking over some photos really. And it's going to be my top 4 free to play games. The ones that I have played personally and I have enjoyed playing. Only 4 because I decided to do 4 instead of 5. I may do a 5th one in another video, but for now it's my top 4. Because these are the ones I can remember off the top of my head, and the ones that I actually have played. Anyway, for the first free-to-play game that I have played, I am going to choose Planetside 2. I have indeed played this game, and I did really enjoy it. I played it on my old PC before I had my current PC, so I had a AMD Athlon 2.8 GHz dual core with a 8400 GS. Played at the lowest settings possible, and it was just a very fun I don't know, it's a large first person shooter. Basically, it was MMO FPS. I think it is. It's a game like that. So it has massive super servers basically, where it stores thousands of players playing on one server at a time, or particular servers at a time in different regions, and it was extremely fun because you could have, the maps were huge and you had massive battles between the 3 different factions of, I think the Vanu Sovereignty, which I think is the purple ones in the photo. That's the side I'm on, and then there's the New Conglomerate and one more. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but I will put it in an annotation in the video if I remember. But I was a very big first-person shooter advocate, so I enjoyed playing first-person shooters, and Planetside 2 was one of the few games that was free-to-play and had vehicular combat as well. Anyway, moving on to the next one, which is another first-person shooter. It is known as Alliance of Valiant Arms. This is a game that's free to play on Steam. So is Planetside 2 is free on Steam as well, but I believe you need another account on their own website to actually log in and play the game. With Alliance of Valiant Arms, it's a low graphical intensive first person shooter that's really fun. I put hours and hours and hours into this game once again on my old PC and my newer one. I did play this a lot. The sniping in it was quite easy really. You got quite good at sniping if you got the higher end weapons, and if you play through the game enough, you get some in-game currency, and you eventually build up a currency which you can buy with real money to get good weapons. But you didn't need those weapons to actually play well on the game. They were the game was quite well balanced for a free-to-play first-person shooter. There's not much else to say about that. It had a basic zombies mode style thing where you get hordes of infected prisoners coming at you. It was really fun, but really quite strategic as well. But I stopped playing it due to the fact I got bored of it, and I got Battlefield basically. But there's not much else to say about Alliance of Valiant Arms. It was fun, it's got some interesting game modes, and it's definitely worth a try out if you want to play some more free games on PC. Anyway, moving on to the next game. This game you have definitely seen on my YouTube channel before. It is known as War Thunder. War Thunder is a flight simulator game. It looks absolutely amazing for a free-to-play game. And it is basically, you take the control of certain countries' aircraft. So there's Germany, Russia, Japan, and Britain and America. You can take control of their planes, and the more kills you get in, the more games you play in all the game modes or game types, which is there's arcade, which is your basic like aircraft v aircraft, multiple spawns mode. Then you've got realistic, which you only get one plane, which will be either your strongest plane or the one that fits into that category or that time period. And then there's full realistic and / historical, which is basically they are actual historical events which happened, and you'll play through them as they were recorded by historians. And it is a great insight to how the aircraft actually flew and operated and what things went down in World War II and beyond, for that matter, because War Thunder goes into the jet age as well, coming from the biplanes like the Gladiator and the Fury, all the way up to the Vampire for the British side and the Gloucester Meteor. I really do enjoy this game. I played, I think, the first few games I played on PC was actually Flight Simulator, so the Combat Flight Simulator 1, 2 and 3 were the games I played the most on PC. And I deem War Thunder a worthy successor to the Combat Flight Simulator 3 game, which I played way too much of. War Thunder is a very, very, very fun game. If you get good at piloting, it's just a load of fun. If you play with more than one person flying with you, it's extremely fun as well, and I find that really fun to play on my own as well, because it's just one of those games I can play on my own. Now, moving on to the final game. This game is not on Steam, unfortunately, but it is an MMO, so a slight change of pace from two first-person shooters, a flight simulator, to an MMO. This is a Star Wars The Old Republic MMO. Now, this takes place, the game is, I think, about 3,500 years before the first film. Or, no, before the fourth film even, I'm sorry, it's 3,500 years BBY, before Battle of Yavin. So this game is of the Old Republic, and it carries on from the Knights of the Old Republic saga. So 1 and 2 of those games happened 300 years before Star Wars The Old Republic. This is the final, I think the final sort of coup de grace in the Old Republic series. So you basically, it's an MMO, you hop on, you create a character, you run through the Star Wars universe, you make your choices light/dark, depending on which faction you choose. There's the Sith Empire and the Republic. You can become a Jedi and a Sith respectively in those, and you have other classes as well. I think there's about five per side. There's bounty hunters, smugglers, scoundrels, troopers, and their respective force wielders. There's 2 classes of Jedi and 2 classes of Sith. You get the Jedi Knight, which is stronger in actual lightsaber combat, basically other tanks. And then you get the Consulars, who are stronger in force ranged/force attacks, and obviously they have higher skill sets when you get to higher levels as well. Then you get the Sith Inquisitor, which is the same as the Consular, and the Sith Warrior, which is the same as the Knight, basically. But I have put so many hours into this game. You can actually, this is a subscription-based game, but it does have free-to-play access as well, and if you pay, I think, about £3 to it, you actually get upgraded to preferred status, and you can trade between players, you can mail people gear, that sort of stuff. You can actually do slightly more stuff, but you don't actually have to pay anything for this game at all to be able to play it. You just get certain debuffs, like when you hit rank 20, you start earning a slight decrease in your experience, and it stays constant until you finish the game, and you can't go to level 55 because that is DLC, which you have to get as a subscriber or a preferred player. But the max level is 50 for free-to-play and preferred users who haven't bought the DLC. But I've put so many hours into this game. I've got about 4 characters on at the moment. As a free-to-play, you get 2 characters, which is enough anyway. And if you're playing on your own, then you don't really need all the advantages that the preferred player gets. I mean, you just play through the story, enjoy it, and it is extremely... I think the story carries on quite well into the Star Wars universe, personally, having been a big fan of the Star Wars saga since I could remember, really. But I grew up with Star Wars, so that's what I have been playing. It's done by LucasArts and BioWare, other game developers for this one. Personally, the game is really well done, and I run it at max settings with bloom and all that off, and I still get like 60 frames per second, and my PC isn't the best out there. But anyway, this is going to be the last game in my top 4 free-to-play games. I do recommend trying all the games out. The first 3, so Planetside 2, Alliance of Valentines, and War Thunder are all on Steam. They are all free to play, and Star Wars The Old Republic, you can just type that into a quick Google search. I also have a link to their website in the description where you can download their launcher. I believe Star Wars The Old Republic is actually one of the larger games out of the two, being about 24 gigabytes. But once you have downloaded the first world, you can actually play while the game finishes its download, so by the time you finish the first world, you should be able to venture off into the galaxy. And some of the worlds are really well done, but I will leave that to you to discover the game's world and universe for yourself. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for this continued support on my videos. If you like this video, please give it a share. See if you can get other people interested in it as well. Give it a like and a comment if you want me to do more of these free-to-play games that I found and enjoy. And leave a comment if you want me to do a top paid-for games, so the games I've bought personally and I have really enjoyed. and I've put a load of hours into. If you want me to do that, just leave a comment below and I'll do it eventually. I've been wanting to do this for a while, so I've finally got all the stuff I've got needed for it, and I hope you do continue to enjoy my content. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. Please comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.